7 reasons why you may not be ready to start dating yet. You are too fragile. Going through a breakup is one of the most painful, excruciating things. And now you may find yourself in a position where you don't know how to eat by yourself at the restaurant, but maybe you don't even know what to do with your weekends, or if you live together, how do you even cook a meal for one? On the one hand, these may sound like silly things, but what you are actually doing, you are navigating your life in a very different way as a single person by yourself. You may feel that I'm so vulnerable, I'm so fragile. You don't feel that you can stand very firm on your feet. And when I say that you are too fragile for dating, I don't mean that you have to put this iron shield on your heart, which I'll talk about later through the video, how that's actually stopping you also from meeting someone. But I'm talking more about that when you finally put yourself out there, you'll be presented with a number of challenges. For example, online dating. I remember when I got back to using online dating after a long-term relationship, and I found it really tricky. Now, keep in mind, I'm someone who has this channel. I've also written about online dating in both of my books. I have videos on this channel about online dating. I guess those who can't teach, right? But I found it a bit difficult to navigate. Firstly, I found it difficult that I would talk to someone and I would feel, oh, we are building some sort of connection, and then this person disappears out of nowhere. Or I am talking to someone and I'm thinking, why are you taking so long to ask for my number? Why are you taking so long to ask me out? I found it really, really frustrating. And I think if you are in this really fragile position, we're just feeling so, like a little leaf on a really windy day, and you're just like not able to stand on your feet. Putting yourself out there and using something like online dating can give you a lot of new triggers, and it will give you a lot of new things to deal with. Now, I'm not saying that you should not be facing the reality, but if you're still in that place where you are feeling not recovered from that breakup, where everything feels really fresh, I think maybe it's a good idea to wait a little bit. Which gets me to the next point, is that you're probably not over your ex. And that can be showing up in so many different ways. For example, you are walking down the street and you can see from the distance your ex. And then you realize, no, this is not your ex. Or maybe you find yourself on a dating app and you realize that men that you click on, men that you are interested in, they look very much like your ex. So it's almost like your ex-partner's, boyfriend's, husband's, whoever that was, energy is still around you. You've not been able to let go of him, so you still see him, you still really miss him, you still want his presence around you. And that's why this next person that you're choosing, either their character or even their looks, specific things in the way they did their beard or any other things that you can think of, you can see that you're still very, very drawn towards that. And also your ex is still very present in your life. Maybe you are on good terms and you are still talking. Maybe you even spending time together. I remember when my girlfriend pointed out, and firstly, I really didn't like when she told me that. I was like, my situation was different. My relationship with my ex is different. This is just friendship. How do you just get rid of this person? If you have history together, we have years together, so why not just stay friends? Why not stay in each other's life? And she said something, if you want to attract a really quality man, it's almost like he can smell that on you. He can smell that you are not as available as he would like that to be. So then this will impact the kind of person that you will attract. And then this was also confirmed by her partner as well. He was like, you know what? She's right. If you are still entertaining in any ways your ex, then to attract that quality man is going to be really, really difficult. Because a good, solid quality man is not going to be someone who likes to share his woman's attention with other men. That's just not how it works. Yes, if you want to be with a sissy, then that's a different story, but do you want to be with a sissy? sissy or not, this is a great time to subscribe to my channel, and welcome back if you are an old viewer. I really appreciate you being here. You want to be saved. There are certain things in your life that are not going quite well, and you're thinking, if I could just have a relationship, if I could just find a man, everything would be fixed, I would be sorted, I would be so happy. This one thing is never going to stop. This is just our nature. We are always going to want something. So once you get that relationship, those other things that you are dealing with, they're still going to be there. They're not going anywhere. So for example, I want my man to provide and protect, but I don't want to become the hostage in this situation. I still want to be in a position where I can fully take care of myself, where I'm not in a situation where I'm relying now on this person, and that without that person I won't be able to do those things. And yes, maybe that's my wounds talking based on my childhood or whatever, that I'm always thinking I need to have an escape plan in case something happens. But I think it's very important to, yes, I'm allowing this man to take care of me, but in case something happens, I can still take care of myself. I remember actually I was in a situation where a relationship ended with my ex, and one of the things that he helped me with was my little savings portfolio, and I had no idea what I was doing there. He just told me, no, invest there, and I could see how at the end of this relationship I started researching things about investing. I read a book, I watched some webinars. I still really don't know what I'm doing, but I was educating myself because I was thinking, okay, now I need to do this myself. I need to figure it out. And just this tax year, I missed to put my money into my pension because last time he still helped me and he still sent me a reminder. But this year that wasn't the case, so I missed it. As much as we would like to, Richard Gere, he's just not coming. He's not coming to save you. Your heart is closed. I actually have a little challenge in this area, I can admit that. I've been told that I am not easy to understand, I don't share my feelings, I am guarded, why I don't tell things about myself. And in the past that did serve me well when my preference was someone emotionally unavailable or just unavailable, full stop. So when you are with someone emotionally unavailable, that person is not going to be very interested in your feelings, in your aspirations, future visions, because very often maybe that emotionally unavailable man will also have some narcissistic tendencies. So his favorite thing to do is mostly to listen to the sound of his own voice. So he's not really that interested in hearing your feelings. But when your heart is guarded, this kind of works well, because then you don't really have to show yourself. So you are with this emotional unavailable man, your heart is guarded, it's kind of toxic, but works in the meantime. And then when you start opening up a little bit and maybe you meet a person who is very there and wants to see you, then it becomes a problem, because you realize, oh, I am actually quite guarded and I don't feel comfortable sharing my feelings, my emotions, my deepest fears or aspirations. Tell me in the comments if you ever have this issue. If you would ask me, would you rather stand naked, completely naked, or share your deepest fears, dreams, aspirations? Which one would you rather do? I would probably say I'd rather be naked. Because for me this is just like, oh my god, it's so scary. You can really see me. If you can just see my body, it's fine, but if you can see what's inside of me, then I feel it's just so fragile, it's so vulnerable, and it can be used against me. Now the thing about relationships is this: if you can't be vulnerable, you can't have a good relationship, because this is how we connect. And I'm saying that as a reminder to myself. And if you form a relationship with someone and you're not willing to share what's deep inside your heart, then you just end up feeling very lonely and alone in that relationship. And that gets me to the next point, is that maybe you should not be dating if you are feeling incredibly lonely. You should not be food shopping when hungry. If you are dating and you're feeling incredibly lonely, you are not able to see that person clearly. You may be choosing that person just because you need company. And maybe sometimes that company is not the best company, but you are just wanting to be with this person because you don't want to be by yourself. You are feeling very lonely. You're just like, I'd rather just be with this person. At least I have someone to spend evenings with, watch things, have weekend plans or whatnot, as long as I'm not by myself. I think it's a recipe for disaster. And instead, what I would do, I would try to find a girlfriend, or maybe a group of girlfriends if you are lucky. I'm convinced that female friendships can enrich your life in ways that is just the most amazing thing. If you can have a couple of girlfriends that you really trust, that they know you, that you feel that you can tell them things, it just makes your life so much better. I personally struggled for many years to form female friendships. I had some sort of trust issues when it came to women. I think it has to do something with my childhood. But when I was able to overcome this has changed my life. This has brought so much goodness into my life. And now, for example, if I'm seeing a guy and I'm getting a bit flustered and I need a perspective, I can just ask my girlfriend. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to follow everything she says or that I'm not able to make my own decisions, but it's good to get that perspective. And sometimes just talking to your girlfriend and just saying those things, just sending that voice message or whatever, while you're doing that, you are making sense of your own things. And I don't want to say that having a relationship is not important. This is very important, but this romantic relationship is one side of your life, but then there are so many other things in your life. And this one person, he cannot be everything for you, no matter how great he may be. So I think having friendships, having other things to do will just ensure that you show up in that relationship in a much better way, and then you have better chances, higher chances of making that relationship work, instead of putting everything, absolutely everything on that one person. However great he is, no one can do that. Okay, the last two are quite important, so make sure that you don't run away. Now the next one, I don't know, I feel that if you are a viewer on this channel, if you've been a viewer for a while, you are not in that kind of mindset. You wouldn't do this. You are someone who has a better understanding of how things should work. But I think it's an important one to mention, and then the next one as well. You are only dating to get your ex back. Maybe you live in the same city where your ex lives, and you are going to certain places thinking that he's going to be there, and you're going with a date and you just want to make him jealous. Maybe you're posting things on social media, hashtag date night with your new person. Maybe you are still talking to your ex and he asks you what you are doing, and you are telling him about this new guy that you met and how great he is and all the things that you are doing together, but everything you are doing is just to make him jealous because you want to get your ex back. If you are doing this, I don't want to say I'm disappointed in you, but I am slightly disappointed in you that you would do this. I just think it's a very, no, it's not tasteful, bad manners. No, don't do that, because how would you feel if someone did this to you? How would you feel if you were this vehicle for a man who has no interest in you? He's taking you on dates, but he's only doing that because he wants to make his ex jealous. I just think it's so wrong. Please do not do this. Do some soul searching, do some inner work, maybe some therapy, a lot of hours with your girlfriend, read books, listen to podcasts, watch videos, but I don't think you are ready to be dating yet. If you're just trying to make your ex jealous, want to get him back, all those things, you should not be dating. No, no, no. You find good men boring. A man that shows up, is consistent, communicates with you, calls you, plans dates. You can clearly see he's a good, decent man, but you're just like, it's a bit boring. I'm not that interested. You are more interested maybe in your toxic ex or someone unavailable. Well, what's going to happen? You will simply choose another man who is very similar to your toxic ex, and you will just repeat the same pattern. You will end up dating the same person in just a different body. But if you actually want to break the pattern, then make sure that you watch this video here. Like this if you found it useful. Please share with your girlfriend, subscribe for more, and thank you so much for watching.